In 2010, the Alpha 9 became the very first R35 GT-R to break into the 9s with a 9.89 at 145 mile/hour pass. In 2011, the Alpha 12 became the first to reach the 8s with an 8.97 at 169 mile/hour. In 2012, we debuted a new car codenamed the Alpha Omega. It would be a project vehicle headed up and driven by AMS Special Projects technician Ivan Phipps, with tuning done by AMS's very own Chris Black. The name Alpha Omega had significant meaning to us. It meant the beginning and the end. It would remind us of our commitment to be the first, and that we would remain steadfast with development of the GT-R until everything with the platform was said and done. Anything new we designed to push the envelope would now go on Omega. The same went with prototype parts from our vendors. The goal of Omega was twofold. We wanted a monster that would dive deeper into the 8s, and one that would spawn off effective components to improve consistency and create even more reliable performance on our Alpha 12, Alpha 10, and even Alpha 9 packages. If any part could withstand the brutal punishment subjected to it by Omega, it would only make our performance packages that much better. Omega was completed February of 2012. It ran a remarkable pass of 8.62 at 173.81 mile/hour, 1 month later on its debut at the Texas 2K12 event outside of Houston, Texas. There was no previous testing. This was its very first drag strip outing, and it already shaved more than 0.3 of a second off its previous record with the Alpha 12. On its record pass, it was incredible to see how much ground Omega made on a mid-10-second car, which you can clearly see here. The crowd loved it. That was the pass by Omega that electrified the GT-R community. The GT-R was the up-and-comer in the tuning world, and just like us, everyone wanted to see where it would go. There was more to come, only 1 week later, the Spring 2012 Texas Mile event in Beeville. Even with the boost turned way down, traction was limited. Even so, Omega smashed the GT-R top speed record with a 233.1 mile/hour pass, all done within a 1 mile limit. This, however, was not without a hitch. Ivan crossed the finish line bouncing up off a dip in the runway as he pulled the parachute, causing Omega to go into a massive slide well over 200 miles/hour. Luckily, both him and the car made it through safely. After all this, we realized that Omega had all the power in the world to run low 8s and possibly even a 7. The problem was lack of traction. Even the best drag radials were no match for what Omega could dish out. With spinning tires and undesired wheel hop, the problem needed to be addressed in order to cut lower 60-foot times. The drivetrain also needed attention. Both the transmission and the engine were strong, but Omega was breaking axles. So throughout the course of the year, plans were made to develop a full drag suspension, drag wheels and tires, thicker axles with stronger splines, and even a full set of carbon rotors to slow it down sooner. Progress was made at the 2013 Chicago Wanna Go Fast half-mile event in Moni, Illinois. This was our first outing on our new drag suspension, and Omega recorded a trap speed of 214 miles/hour, the fastest speed at the event. In addition, some incredible stats: 60 to 130 mile/hour in just 3.0 seconds, 0 to 100 mile/hour in 4.4 seconds, 0 to 200 mile/hour in just 11.87 seconds. A few weeks later, the new drag wheels and tires were complete, along with the newest driveshaft shop pro level axles. And when Cyvex was finally updated, it was time to go out and break another quarter-mile record. What we got was not exactly what we had expected. On Thursday, July 11, 2013, a few hours before the track closed, Omega laid down a respectable and quick 8.25-second pass for the new quarter-mile record. There was time for another run, and with one more tuning adjustment from Chris, Ivan felt a 7-second pass was possible. The anxiety was high. Unfortunately, a prolonged power outage at the track brought everyone's night to a close. On Friday, we returned to work with one thing on our mind. What would have happened had we been able to make that third pass? Speculation turned into preparation to head to the track on Saturday. As we drove into the pits on Saturday afternoon, the facility was packed. The density altitude was far from favorable at 2,129 feet. It was humid, and the temperature was in the low 80s, but that was the last thing on all of our minds. After a long wait in the staging lanes, Ivan Phipps, driver and head technician behind Omega, was to make a run. He pulled onto the track and did a short dry hop to clean the tires. With a good but less than perfect launch, Ivan was off. We were silent from that moment until the board lit up. 7.984 seconds at 186.14 mile per hour. We went wild. Omega brought us what we wanted, and now AMS held the title for building the first 9, 8, and 7 second GT-R. Some insane stats for that record pass. 0 to 60 mile per hour in only 1.72 seconds. 60 to 130 mile per hour in just 2.67 seconds. Over 2/10 quicker than at the half-mile event. The quickest recorded 60 to 130 of any car to date. And a 100 to 150 mile per hour time of 2.42 seconds. Of course, there were some that questioned the streetability of Omega. So without any adjustments, we drove her into the great city of Chicago, 40 miles away, for some photos. The car performed flawlessly, even in bumper-to-bumper traffic. A few fans managed to capture it and post pictures online, but the 2,000-plus horsepower monster was docile enough to not gain the attention of any pedestrians or police, even with the parachute and all. Omega was designed to test and improve the Alpha GT-R product line. In 2013, it proved the endurance of our 4-liter race engine by remaining in the car untouched for 2 years and reaching an estimated 1,800 wheel horsepower without failure. This was the same engine we've been selling to the public since 2011. Omega also forged the way, helping our partners Shep Trans, Datsun, Exidy, and Drive Shaft Shop design and test drivetrain parts capable of withstanding the power necessary to run a 7-second pass. The Alpha 16 turbo system on Omega was proven viable and released as well. This program really demonstrated its effectiveness in January of 2014 with a customer's Alpha 16, showing we are now nearing the performance numbers of Omega in a full-weight GT-R. For 2014, our goal is to push farther into the 7s without compromising streetability. This improved version of Omega will be testing our new billet block, cylinder head program, camshafts, and intake manifold, which after proven effective, will most likely reach production, just like the Alpha 16 package did. While we plan to expand and explore the boundaries of the street car's abilities, we're not planning on crossing the line to a race car. Things like Lexan windows and stripping or gutting the car are not in our plans. At this point, we feel it's important to our customers and fans to leave Omega a street car so they can relate to its characteristics of a real car that can be driven in traffic, to the store, or across the country. We look forward to what 2014 has in store. The Nissan R35 GT-R has proven to be an amazing platform, and we can't wait to show the world what it's capable of.